Hey, how's it going? Hey, so today I wanted to bring you the brief history of electric vehicles. I just really find electric vehicles to be extremely fascinating. And later on, whenever I get my electric vehicle, I'll show you what I got. But for now, this first picture shows basically this is one of the first electric vehicles. So electric vehicles have a long and fascinating history dating back to the 19th century. The first electric vehicles were developed in the 1830s, and by the late 1800s, electric vehicles were becoming popular in cities as they were quiet and didn't produce the pollution that gasoline cars did. Now, many claim to have had invented electric car, but the first car to be powered by batteries was between 1832 and 1839 in the streets of Scotland. So this is basically one of the first vehicles. Not the exact first vehicle, but one of them. Now, after this, um, the internal combustion engine eventually became dominant, and it started to basically take over the market for electric vehicles, and it fell out of favor. And this was due to the improvements to the internal combustion engine, and with the release of Henry Ford's Model T. Um, so this picture that I'm showing here, I just found this electric vehicle to be pretty cool. It looks like a little rocket. I'm gonna try the name Le Jamais Content. I don't know, but I know it's French. But this is one of the first vehicles that achieved 100 kilometers per hour. I don't know how much that is in miles per hour, but you can do the quick math. So this was actually Henry Ford's Model T. I think it's pretty cool. Now, in the 20th century, electric vehicles they basically made a comeback with the development of the lead acid battery and the introduction of hybrid vehicles, which combine internal combustion engine with an electric motor. And this is my favorite car. Don't laugh at me, but the Toyota Prius was born and released on the streets of 1997. So that's Henry Ford's Model T. So this is the Prius. The one that I had, believe it was like a 2004. It was a hatchback, but I loved it because it saved me so much on gas. I literally put $20 of gas per month. That was to and from school, to and from work, friend's house, hanging out. I mean, anything I wanted, $20 a month. Now, today, what we have are the newer model of electric vehicles. They're becoming increasingly popular as people look for more sustainable transportation options. So there are vehicles like this, and basically cars, but there's other kinds of vehicles. Um, I know here where I live, city of Houston, the metro transportation is actually using hybrid buses and also hydrogen fuel powered buses as well as solar power slash electric vehicle. They're pretty cool. They're hard to come by, but there's a lot of cities out there that are using electric vehicles, not just cars, but all different types. I know of a company, Hellbiz. They have little scooters and motorcycles and stuff like that that you can rent, and they're all fully electric, and they're not necessarily an automobile per se. But yeah, many automakers are starting to invest in electric vehicle technology, and governments around the world are offering incentives to encourage the adoption of EVs. Now, this is because the congressional mandates aimed at reducing the automotive pollution that have propelled EV makers to create new and more exciting models. Um, so, Tesla is definitely one of the biggest developers of all electric vehicles. There are others. There's also that I could think of Lucid, there's Mullen, Nikola, um, Fisker, I believe. So there's several out there now. There's also several more overseas, especially in China and in Europe. Um, Europe and China have adopted electric vehicles a lot faster than we have here in the United States. But that's simply because of the way that their government works and the roads are built. So the roads are just a lot more narrow, and just small vehicles are a lot easier to be just created and deployed out there. I do know when I visited France last year, I saw a lot of transportation vehicles that were fully electric. Um, I'm not really sure what brand it was, what maker. I believe it was Helion or Hylian, one of those. But they were pretty cool looking. The one that I liked that stood out the most was like it was like a little minivan looking. Like it was like straight up like the body of a minivan, but it was small, like the size of a Prius, like a hatchback. So that was pretty cool, and they just used it for primarily, deliveries. But yeah, so we had a lot of protests, not just the United States, California, but also worldwide, which created the mandates worldwide, and also the Green Deal that we briefly stepped out of, and I think we're back in there now, but we may be off of it. I'm not really sure whoever the president is next. But I'm really glad that EV vehicles, have been made and have been deployed, worldwide. And so the future of EVs, the way that I see it is that charging will be 80% faster. Currently, there are dozens of EV charging stations, and our charge point is one of them. And they have level 3 charging, and they promise typically 50% faster than level 1. um, so that's definitely an improvement. So instead of waiting hours, you'll just have to wait in just a few minutes. I think 12 minutes will give you a full battery charge. So that's definitely amazing. um, Also, what I noticed was that the software in the vehicles will become a lot better with the deployment of AI and machine learning. Um, especially with the cloud computing, um, different software will be developed specifically for vehicles that would tailor the needs of the driver. I really can't give you an example. A lot of these projects are pretty secret, but I do know that they'll just be tailored to you. You'll be able to connect your phone and basically just work it a lot better, just like how it is with Alexa and Siri and things like that. Everything would just be working just a lot better. I really can't explain it, but with the Internet of Things and cloud computing, that will definitely propel AI and machine learning just a lot further. Um, Also, another cool thing was that the battery temperatures will be reduced. That's also a big issue. So right now they're still using lead, I believe, and other rare earth materials. Um, but the deployment of new batteries will reduce the overall temperature. So basically, they're just going to make them not necessarily smaller in size, but thinner. Um, because I think everyone likes the whole skateboard type of battery where the whole thing just lays in the bottom, and the car is built on top of that. So as of now, that is the best type of configuration for electric vehicles that we've found so far. But also in the future, there'll be a lot more customized vehicles for geographical regions. So just like I was saying earlier, when I went to France, there was like a small minivan, um, meant for delivery. So there's just going to be a lot more vehicles out there in the streets that we're going to see that are specific for a certain task or for a certain geographical region. So, like for instance, here in Texas, where it's very hot, but it also floods, we might be able to see just vehicles that are higher up, or somehow um, just waterproof. I really don't know how electric vehicles would do in the water, but I could just imagine. But there you have it. That's my little presentation. Hope you enjoyed it, and take it easy.